Alright, I just saw announced this morning poll selection for the year 2023. One of the best banners of the year has its full lineup revealed and it's releasing tomorrow morning. So of course I myself will be summoning, but we're here to answer the question, is this banner actually worth summoning on? And the answer is an easy yes. I think most accounts, depending on your orb count, should definitely go all the way to step 6, where you are guaranteed one of these 12 amazing characters. The timing of this banner is really fortunate, and there's definitely a few ways you can tackle someone on this banner. And again, ultimately it depends on what you do need. I already know some people are skipping this, but for me, even though I already own 90% of the banner, only missing Swimsuit Byakuya, I'm still gonna summon because I want most of these characters duped out. And if I was missing most of them, again, I would definitely want to get my hands on them. So first up, let's look at the actual release date. It's coming out tomorrow and it will be here until the 6th of January. That's important to know. During this time, we are gonna, of course, get next month's Senkamon on the 5th, and that can be your potential last chance to gather up some mobs to summon on this banner in case it does actually leave. Alongside that, this of course means the banner will be out during the end of year banner announcement and also will be out at the same time. So if you are low on orbs, maybe wait to see what end of year is going to be, summon on that banner, and then if you have any leftover orbs, you can then potentially put it back into this banner. The banner step up unfortunately isn't the greatest, but you know what, I think in this case I actually prefer the banner being 7 steps. That way I can be in and out within like 1,000 orbs and not really be tempted to keep selling on this banner, so I can save more orbs for the end of the year. So for those who don't know how the banner does work, your first multi is going to be free. It's going to have a 4% pull rate. Now the good thing about the other pull rate in this case is that it's additive on top of the actual base pull rate. So you'll see if you are doing step 6 or step 7, the step that you do repeat, you have a 6% chance to get any of these 12 characters, so a 0.5% chance each. And then you have an additional 2% chance, so overall 8% chance for a 5-star. And the other pull rate, the 2%, potentially the characters that you don't want, are all the characters that didn't get nominated for this year's poll selection. So if you do pull a 5-star, it's guaranteed to be a character that released within the last year. And there's still some good characters to get in that 2% pull rate, but the chance of getting a character from that rate is actually quite low. Think of it as a bonus, because if you do get a character from the 2% pull rate, understand that in a normal summon, that would have been a 4-star. But as already announced, this is the complete lineup of the characters for this year's poll selection, and it's probably one of our best poll selections today. I don't think there's a single bad character in this banner. But let's break them down, shall we? So first up, we have Quincy Ichigo, one of, if not still debatable, the best technique character in the game. The reason for that is because he has a really high damage output, with Frenzy +2, an 80% SP boost, and an increased chance to inflict both weakening and also drain, allows this character to pack a punch and also have insane survivability. It's also a remake of a very popular and fan favorite character, that being Quincy Ichigo. The character visuals are great, the character play is great, and at the same time he has a really good utility effect with his team. If you are a technique character, when you do move into another map, your strong attack will get recharged by 20%. This makes him really good in Limit Breaker, especially when you can use a team of 3 technique characters. Easily one of the best characters released this year, and fun fact, he had the most votes of the entire selection. The next character is a Faniverse UI, once more another amazing character, one of the best mind characters in the game, actually at this point the best mind character in the game, very similar in a way to Quincy Ichigo. Really high damage output thanks to his Frenzy +2. When you inflict a stat element, which you have an increased chance to do so, you then get an 80% stat boost to your spiritual pressure stat. His stat elements include Drain and also Lacerate, allowing him to easily stay at full stamina. And when you do inflict stat elements, you then do 100% more damage to those enemies that you do inflict with stat elements. So this allows him to have insane survivability and just a really high damage output. His kit is actually quite interesting. I really do like his strong attacks. And it's also white. Like he's such a cool character. The mind attribute, while it is slowly getting better, doesn't have access to that many powerhouse characters, wants to carry you in all content, and White is definitely a character that can do that. He offers a unique type of gameplay and Overwatch is very powerful. Our next character is the renewed version of Beyond Resurrection Ulquiorra, a character that I don't use much outside of Guild Quest, but definitely a character that is good enough to be used. The best way to simplify him is that he's a speed version of 1000 Year Blood War Yamamoto. By that, he has a good strong attack kit. His SA2 most importantly is a Tracking Vortex SA2. When you inflict the stat element, you get an 80% stat boost to your spiritual pressure stat, and you do more damage to both weakened and also burn enemies, the 2 stat elements he can inflict. In my opinion, the more valuable thing about him is that he does have 2 really good killers, that being Hollow and also Espada. More particularly the Espada killer though. When it comes to range Espada killer Guild Quest content, Ulquiorra is the best character for that. So in terms of meta heads for Guild Quest, he is definitely worth having, and he's actually one of the characters that I'm going for. I have him already, 1 out of 5, but I want duplicates of him. He's definitely a character that if you do pull, you will use him, maybe just not so much outside of Guild Quests. But it doesn't mean you can't use him outside of Guild Quests. He's still good enough to be used. Swimsuit Rangiku is going to be our next character. In her case, she is a super link swap farmer. By using her in IT, you're getting 5 additional super link swap potions and also 5 extra normal link swap potions. This makes it a really good link swap farmer, super link swap farmer too, to farm mind items, and that also does include droplets. But what's great about her is that she has a very consistent damage output that is needed for hard content like Inheritance Trials. She goes through Iron Skin, one of the more defensive abilities in the game that slows you down in content like Inheritance Trials, and with the fact that she does 100% more damage to enemies not afflicted by an ailment, makes her the best character for any Inheritance Trials. And given the fact that she also increases the drop rate for both link swap potions and droplets, makes it a must-have farmer in my opinion for the heart attribute. Definitely will be your go-to for quite some time when it comes to farming mind super link swap potions. Sun is our next character, and while herself she is actually a good character, you're not really going to ever use it in my opinion. You definitely can, but the main reason why you would want this character is for a soul trait. Her soul trait, being the only one in the heart attribute, is 5 additional link swap potions. So this makes it so if you put this on any other link swap farmer, you can make them get 10 link swap potions. Or in the case of Halloween Momo, you can make it so you can get 15 link swap potions guaranteed per run. She's definitely a good character, but her main value comes from the soul trait. And a good thing about this too is that you can also put it on non-link swap farmers like Kilgay for example, and make them a link swap farmer. So having this character allows you to get 2 options: double up for more link swap potions, or turn any character into a link swap potion farmer. And that in my opinion definitely holds value. Halfway through our list, our next character is Isshin. He is a brave battle character, one of the best in the meta right now, and that's due to the fact of how universal he is. He's invincible, he can go for invincibility, he's a sniper, so no one has killer against him, and he has a good damage output. With Flurry plus 2, a high bruiser value, and more damage to slashing enemies makes him a pretty solid character, especially if you get dupes of him. Overall, just a very solid brave battle character that makes for a great third slot in any particular brave battle team. Keep in mind, he's also really good in guild quests, more specifically the Mila Rose guild quest, where he pairs quite well with 8th Anniversary White, since they both want to inflict lacerate and do more damage to lacerated enemies. Our next character though is the other 8th Anniversary character, in this case 8th Anniversary Ichigo. One of the safest characters to use in the game, and in my opinion the auto gods. By that, he can auto any content you want him to auto because of his insane survivability. And that's thanks to his increased chance of fixed elements with the addition that he has Frenzy plus 3. That makes it so his strong attacks hit so many more times compared to any other character in the game, especially on that SA2, which is a tracking vortex, and given the fact that he can both apply weakening and drain, means that he can easily stay at full stamina, and also constantly make it so any enemy he touches only does 1 damage back to him. His auto capabilities are definitely underrated about him. He is a character I single-handedly auto any inheritance trial with, and he's actually the main reason why I was able to T20 my entire technique character list, because I would just go into IT and auto with him. Outside of autoing though, he's actually a very solid character, can be used in 2 weeks of guild quests, and is also relatively strong in Limit Breaker whenever you can possibly use a power character. Tensa is our next character and is very similar to Rangiku. Or more so, Rangiku is very similar to her because Tensa set a new standard when it comes to super links or farmers. By that, he has an amazing strong attack damage kit with Frenzy plus 1, a high berserker value, more damage in cup, and of course also 100% more damage to any enemy that is not inflicted with an ailment. To go alongside that, of course, he does pierce Iron Skin and increase the amount of droplets you can get, links or potions, and of course also super links or potions. If you have this character, you do not need any other speed character in the game to farm power super links or potions, because he does an amazing job at that. While it's true he's technically being power created by Senjumaru, her extra damage and survivability doesn't make that much of a difference because Tensa is still an amazing character to clear any IT with and a must-have when it comes to farming super links or potions. Our next character is Mila Rose in a swimsuit. Despite looking physically amazing, she's a really good links or farmer. In her case, she offers plus 10 power links or potions, making her the only one in the speed attribute, and that means she has value. Ideally, you only want to use this character in Inheritance Zone, and of course also Epic Raids where you want to farm links or potions, and with that, the more Mila Rose we can get in the community, the better, because she gets better the more Arankas you have in a lobby. That's mainly thanks to her Aranka Resonance skill, which allows her to have quite the high berserker value when you have a full lobby of Mila Rose, or just Arankas in general, but mainly Mila Rose, and at the same time, she's all about inflicting lacerate and doing more damage to lacerated enemies. So again, the more Mila Rose our community can get, the better, because at that point, we're all then getting more links or potions, but we're also clearing clearing faster, and that's the most important part. She is a good strong attack damage kit, good damage output, plus 10 links or potions. What more could you ask for? Made Orihime, a character I truly believe would not have been in this selection until the very hard edition of Guild Quests. In her case though, it has been said time and time again over the last 2 months how great of a support character she actually is. And that's many thanks to her simple SA2, a boost and barrier move that gives your team 43% extra attack, focus and defense, very important for Guild Quests. And the fact that she can also give your team barriers, a 5-hit barrier for herself and a 3-hit barrier for your teammates, allows her to be a great damage buffer and also really good protective character. The cherry on the top that separates this character from any other support in the game though is the fact that when you stand on a status summon, which she will do because you will not be playing with her, she'll be aside in your Guild Quest team, she will then share that immunity to your entire team. In certain Guild Quest weeks where there aren't any team boosters and there's also a lack of immunities for your entire team, she makes it so much better for protection, damage, and most importantly that immunity, so you can therefore focus on making your other characters have more damage output instead of trying to get them immunities through links and or bonus abilities. She's good enough to use outside of Guild Quest, but her real value and the reason why she was voted in here is for her value in any Guild Quest week. She's a character you can hypothetically use in all 20 plus weeks of Guild Quests, and that would potentially save you the need to get 20 plus characters. Definitely worth the hype, an amazing Guild Quest supporter, and one of the main reasons why people might be pulling on this banner. After that, we have another swimsuit character, this time Riruka, and in her case, she's very similar to Mila Rose. She is a plus 10 links or farmer, she's the power character at that, so she farms links or potions. Once more has a good damage output and some really good survivability thanks to her charge strong attack SA3, a really good character to use for epic raids and of course also Inheritance Zone if you want to farm technique links or potions. And then lastly, we have Swimsuit Byakuya, a character you might not own given the fact that he came out 2 weeks after 1000 Year Blood War Yachiru, who actually summoned for this character. But just because no one summoned on him doesn't mean he isn't worth going for, because in his case he is once more another links or farmer, but he does offer it through his soul traits. So by using this character, by pulling this character, you can turn any mind character into a links or farmer, or again you can double down to get plus 10 links or potions, or in the case for Christmas Grimjow, plus 15 links or potions. A good link to have, and a good character to pull. If you want to use him, you can get some decent usability out of him since he is a decent support character, but once more very similar to Sun, the main reason why you would use him is for the fact that he is offering those plus 5 heart links or potions through his soul trait. And that's basically the banner in a nutshell. It's a good banner. I don't think there's a single bad character in this banner. Some would say Isshin shouldn't be here, but he's a meta breakout character. I want him duped out, but every single character in this banner has value, and these are some of the more used characters that I use almost every week on my account. At least the ones that I do have. You have some of the best characters in the game, a bunch of plus 10 links or farmers, super links or farmers, the best in their attributes, a really good breakout character, and also links or potion soul traits. I would say this banner is a very easy 6-step summon. Go to the guarantee and then probably stop there. I wouldn't recommend going past step 6 given the fact that step 7 is just 250 orbs, no discounts, no more guarantees, and given the fact that every banner nowadays has guaranteed 5 stars, you know, crown step up summons are guaranteed 5 stars every 3 multis. If you do 25 multis on a banner, you get to pick a character of your choice. For me personally, even though I have upwards to 8,000 orbs, I'm just going to go to step 6, get my guaranteed 5 star, hopefully it's someone that I need, and then just move on. I don't think you need to go past step 6, but I definitely recommend most people watching this video to go to step 6. There's no reason not to, unless you have everyone in the banner and you don't care about duplicates. Although, of course, if you are low on orbs, I would recommend waiting just to see what end of year is first. Again, the end of year banner will be getting announced in 2 days' time after this banner releases on the 24th. And again, at the same time, Pro Selection and the end of the year banner will be here at the same time. You can pull on both at the same time, right? So there's definitely a few ways you can go about it. For me, in my case, I know I can afford to do 6 steps in this banner while also having enough orbs to summon on the end of the year. So I'll be doing guaranteed 6 steps tomorrow. My hope in my summons is that I can get duplicates of 8th anniversary Ichigo, Beyond Resurrection Ulquiorra. I don't own Byakuya, so getting him would be really good. And any duplicates of Rangiku, any of the links or farmers, even Isshin, I think would be a great addition to my account. The only character I don't want to pull is 8th anniversary White and Sun, because I don't need any Sun dupes, and I already have a 5 out of 5 White Ichigo. And also renewed Ichigo, Quincy. I already have him 552, so I don't need any of them. But I'm still going to be selling because there are definitely a few characters I want to get here. Most importantly, duped out. And the good thing about the 6-stepper banner is that I only have to spend upwards to 1,000 orbs to go to step 6. And not have to worry about being short on orbs right before an end of year banner. Had this been 25 steps, I might have wanted to do 25 steps. But for me, it's step 6, get my guaranteed 5-star, hope for the best, and then I'll wait for the end of year banner. But with that said, hope you liked enjoyed the video. Let me know your summon plan for tomorrow. Make sure you come back to the channel because we'll be doing some summons. And let's hope for a good set of summons. Last year went quite well. I'm hoping the same can be said this year. I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.